What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Purple Pill Thrills. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And let's get straight into it because this one might be a little bit longer than I usually talk for. And these are things I would tell my daughter. A quick recap. Of course, if you want the whole picture, you can always look up Bedroom Confessions, available wherever podcasts are streamed. I get more in depth on there. But here's a quick summary of what I would tell my daughter. I would tell my daughter we're going to start at age 5 because I feel like up to age 5, they're kind of just kids. It can't really be much more than a kid. The only thing that I would advise when it comes to that young of an age is that you get your daughter more used to being in real activities. And I'm going to explain what that means as I talk about the next age, okay? So we're going to talk about from like 5 to 9. I want you dancing or playing softball. I want you cheerleading. Anything that's going to put you around other women in a positive environment where you're doing something with your time. I don't want you on your tablet all day. I don't want you watching music videos. I don't want you looking up the singers, especially with the way that they act nowadays. I don't want you getting wrapped up into nonsense. I want you occupied. I want you busy. I want you active. Okay? Now, once we get to the little bit of older ages, right? So let's say now we're going from 9 to about early teenage years. From 9 to, let's say, about 12. From 9 to about 12, that's the time where mom's having womb talks with her. She's understanding how to take care of her womb, what it is, the power of all that. She's understanding periods. She's still being active, but she's starting to learn to be more feminine, like how to eat, things of that nature, how to carry yourself in public, things of that nature, how you wear a skirt, things of that nature, okay? That's where we're going. Now, we're going to get to the very important years. So we're going to talk about from about 12 to, let's say, about 18, okay? And at that point, the best advice that I could give her would be keep your head still straight on the arrow, because this is what starts to happen at that point. You wake up one day and you might happen to be the woman who won the genetic lottery. What do I mean by you won the genetic lottery? You woke up, you have breasts, your butt's fat, your frame is still skinny, and guys are treating you different, right? Now at this point, it becomes very important. Because you can go 2 different ways. This is where it starts, okay? You can stay in your books and stay in your activities and stay focused on your future and not be worried about boys. Or you can become that girl who she's twerking around and she's interrupting the guys and all this other stuff, right? I know some people watching may be thinking like, why are you putting all that on the girls? I'm going to explain why. If you remember like middle school or late elementary school, right? Like myself, for example, the first time I ever got a note passed to me from a girl asking to be my girlfriend, I was in 5th grade. In 5th grade, I literally listened. Me, women, no interest, right? But that's the first time I got a note. I circled no. Me and the guys thought it was funny. The girls were legitimately upset. They didn't even talk to us for like 2 weeks because I said no. This is 5th grade, right? So why am I bringing that up? Soon as puberty tends to hit women, right? Now, at that point, the game becomes, well, I have these assets. I want the attention of boys, okay? So I'm starting it in middle school. So this is what starts to happen. Most middle school boys, they playing basketball, they playing football, they playing Fortnite, they wrestling. They're not really worried about chicks unless they've been through something. Usually that involves those types of activities at a younger age. They're not really worried about chicks. This is just true. I guarantee you, anyone watching this who's thinking back to like middle school, kind of like, yeah, that's generally true. So what happens, right? The girls, they're in the drama. They're in the gossip. They got their assets already, so they feel like they're grown. This is why they think they mature faster than boys, because they sexually mature faster than boys, right? So they have their assets going, and they think they're grown. So what are they going to do? Because they're going to get bored, right? You'll learn, y'all hear me say this a lot. Women are boring. Y'all hear me say this a lot, because this is what they're going to do. When there ain't no juicy gossip and nothing's going on, they're going to do what? They're going to go and distract the boys. This happens at a very young age. So they're going to go around, they're going to wiggle their boobs around, they're going to shake their tushies around, right? And the guys who are into that, they're going to get distracted, right? Now, why am I bringing all this up? You don't want your daughter, I wouldn't want my daughter to be on the side trying to get the guy's attention, because the same way it's going to end for that little girl is going to end for that little boy. They're going to end the same way. They're going to end the same way, right? But we didn't get that far yet. So stay on the right side where you focus on your school, you focus on your books, okay? And you focus on getting yourself to college, okay? Now, you can have your boyfriends, you can have, you can date, things like that. That's fine. We're not going to do that fake guy, we're not going to do that fake tough dad thing where it's all like, oh, you can't never see a dude ever. We're not going to do that. That's just going to make everything worse. That's not what we're going to do, okay? So you can have your little boyfriend, but you won't be out here dropping it like it's hot, okay? We're going to keep you off the carousel. Now, Something else you guys don't learn to hear me say more. Every girl's going to have a whole phase, right? So you got to be strategic about that, like you're strategic about everything else, right? So we have the 18 to about 22, 23 years. Where's she probably going to be? College. Where would I advise my daughter to go to college? Somewhere far away from where she grew up. Maybe somewhere she just always thought would be dope. Why? Two different reasons. One, you need to flock the nest. That's the fastest way to learn how to take care of yourself and be independent, okay? Two, now is when you can go ahead and ride the cock carousel. Now you can ride it for two different reasons. One, you're in college. You're going to do it anyway, most likely. That's what everybody's doing in college. You know, you're paying to learn and you're paying to ride the carousel. That goes both ways, right? But also, when you graduate college, that's when life really starts. So if you're probably not going to want to live where you went to college at. Most people don't. So what happens is you're either going to go back home or you're going to go somewhere else. And guess what? Reset. It's like it never happened. So that's what I would tell my daughter. I would say in college, make sure you're focused on your books. Okay, we got to get you out of there. We're not wasting money. But that's the time where if you want to experiment with guys, learn what type of guys you like, get whatever you want to get off, that's the time to do it. Just don't get pregnant. Now, we move into about 23 to, let's say, 28. Those are the years where I would tell her now you should be looking for a husband. If you follow my plan, all right, you got to be a kid when it was time to be a kid. You got to have your fun with guys in college. And now you're out. You done graduated. Now it's the time to find a man, and here's why. The best time to get with a guy is before he becomes bitter. Okay? So women, especially if they decide to get on the cock carousel early, they become bitter. By the time you're 23, you'll already notice half of women are bitter. If you're a girl watching this and you're around that age, you probably already know what I'm talking about. Like, damn, they're already like, guys ain't shit. And we're 23. If you're following my script, you don't feel like that because you haven't even dealt with enough guys to feel like that. So even the ones who weren't shit you ran into are balanced out by the ones who were solid because you weren't just sleeping around like that, right? So the law of averages balanced out for you. But here's the thing. At like 23, right? Believe it or not, most guys aren't really getting women like that. They're all going to tell you they aren't. 90% of women are dealing with 10% of men. Or 80-20 at best, okay? The chances whatever dude you're talking to is in that 20%, meh. Sometimes you get one, but most of the time he's not. So I'm bringing that up to say, just like you, he hasn't had enough experiences with women or seen enough things to jade him. So this is a good time for both of you guys to go ahead, get together. You know what I'm saying? You get on his program or you work your program into his program. Y'all get to start a family together and y'all get to have a happy life, right? Here's what you don't want to do. What you don't want to do is be 23. You still right in the cock carousel. And now you think at like 28, now you're like, okay, I done had my fun. I done messed around with guys. I done got my degree. I done hit that glass ceiling because there is a glass ceiling. So let me go ahead and find a man. And now I want to have babies because this is what's going to happen. The good men in that age bracket, right? Because men don't hit their peaks till they're 30. And that's what a lot of women didn't have their fathers to tell them. Okay? And that's what I would tell my daughter. Men don't hit their peaks till they're 30. Most men, okay, we're excluding the athletes. We're excluding the superstar hood dudes because those guys flame out fast. We're talking about regular men. Most men aren't even at their physical peak until about their 30s. They start to get in their physical peak. They start to make money fast. They start to understand money. Those who really did the right things in life, they ain't got no kids. They headed high up. They're headed high up. Their confidence is getting higher and higher. Now, what you were dealing with when you were from 18 to 25 and you had your option of men because your breasts were way up here and your butt was way here, right? Now you're starting to do this. This is just logic. This is what you're doing. You're starting to do this. But he's doing this. He's doing this. So he's starting to realize, hey, man, women are easy. Money is easy. My resume look nice. I can leave one job, get another job. My money keeps going up. This is a statistical fact. As men get older, they make more money. As women get older, they level off. It's a statistical fact, right? I'm telling my daughter all this. I'm telling her this for a reason, right? Because now he's like, okay, I can head over to the university, scoop me up some, 18 to 21-year-olds, have a good time with them. Right? Or I can head on over to the 30 pluses who are desperate for a relationship and have a good time with them. I can have my pick of the litter. I have a good job. Like I said, my resume is built up. I know where I'm going in life now. My body is right now. I'm at my peak now. So women, think back to when you were at your peak from, let's say, 12 to about 28. How did you treat dudes? Especially dudes who you thought wasn't on your level. Wasn't very nice to them, were you? So what do you expect the dudes 28 and above who don't have kids, who are on their shit, who kept their bodies together, who kept their lives together. They didn't burn themselves out. They were the high school star athlete, and now, they got 3 baby mamas from high school, can't get a chick now because they got 3 baby mamas and they sell used cars. That's not this guy. He blossomed late. He don't got none of those problems, so everybody wants this guy. Now you got to fend off 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds. If you're talking to a 23-year-old, he has no shot at the most attractive 20-year-olds or the older 30, 40-year-old women. You know why? Because he doesn't know what his purpose is yet. His resume's not built up yet. He has not all the way stepped into himself yet. That's the perfect time for you to come in and, as they like to say, build up a man, right? But you're not really building him up. You're just supporting him until he gets to that takeoff point. That's going to matter to a man because he's going to say, she's been with me from day one. So it doesn't matter that all these other clones are coming up and trying to talk to me now. She's been with me from day one, so I'm going to stay with her. And at bare minimum, I know some of y'all might be like, well, Kevin Hart didn't stay with his lady, but LL Cool J stayed with his. For everyone you can give me where it didn't work, I can give you one where it did. And my bigger point here is even if they divorced, you still got some money. You still got a family. So you still won, especially in comparison to the women who didn't have a father like me to talk to them about all this. Because what they did is they were the ones who I told y'all going back to the 12-year-old age. They were the ones twerking around and dancing around and bopping their boobies around trying to distract the boys. And they were able to successfully do it. So in their situation, just like the boys, something probably happened to them when they were younger as well. But either way, they skip off together and they're sleeping together, and he the man because he's sleeping with all the chicks, and she's the girl because all the guys want her but they can't get her, and she's only dealing with the highest types of guys and blah, 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 right? I said we're going to come back to them. The reason we're going to come back to them is let's deal with them from now 18 to 22, okay? 70% of them ain't going to college. The star athlete wasn't that good. He didn't get any division letters. So if he do go to college, he's going to go to that good old community college. I'm going to talk to y'all about that in a minute. Same thing with the girl. She was too busy sitting on everybody's D. So she's going to community college with him, right? And here's the thing. You got to hope she didn't get pregnant. Most likely she probably did, right? But if she made it through without getting pregnant, she's going to the community college with the former star athlete. She's going to the community college with the popping hood dude who was selling weed in school and sleeping with women, so he didn't focus on his book. He had the community college too. She's going to community college surrounded by a bunch of people who still have that same mindset of sleeping around with each other and defining each other by each other. They have a loser mindset and don't realize it, right? So these already failing star athletes, these already failing hood celebrities, and these already failing bad chicks, none of them have any money or anything going on. They're going to continue to just sleep around with each other, right, in that community college. She won't make it out of there without getting pregnant. She won't. Or STD or something. And neither will he. So now she's coming out of community college, probably without the degree, and a baby. And she's going to go, okay, well, if she's smart, at 23, she's going to do the same thing you did. And she's going to say, well, now I need to be a good man. The problem is you've been ran through by Pookie and Tyrone and everybody on the track team. And dudes know this. So they're like, why would I pick you? Or you don't even think that far. You go, well, I'm 23 and F these dudes, so I'm going to treat them how they treat me. So you keep riding the cock carousel all the way up to 28 like you're a regular chick. And then you say, oh, now I'm going to get serious. That's not going to happen. You're finished. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. And a lot of girls don't have their fathers to tell them stuff like that. These is all things I would tell my daughter. Of course, I would tell my daughter a bunch of other stuff. But when it comes to dudes, that's what I would tell my daughter. Stay on the right and not the left. Okay? Because the left is what I like to call using your beauty to get what you want. And if you're going to go on that path, the only way you win is by becoming a straight out selling your body. And even then, you only win if you make 6 figures or millions with it. But you never win by just giving your body up for attention. And that's what 70% of women get caught up in. And that ends in you not achieving your goals, not having a whole family like you want, and being stressed out. Your life's over at 30. You're already bitter and single with a baby and no man at 30 because you want to have fun as soon as you got B cups. You want to shake it fast as soon as you got a booty. Meanwhile, this daughter's over there still having fun, still shaking it fast, but she's married and has a whole family and a college degree because she said guys aren't going anywhere. And she had fun, but she didn't make the fun her. She wasn't the beautiful girl. She wasn't the girl who was men. People looked at her and all the men wanted her. She was the girl who was about what she was about in life. She went to school to take up whatever it is she wanted to take up, and she got her family because that's what she wanted. And that's what I would tell my daughter. If you guys want to hear more, a longer version, like I said, make sure you check out Bedroom Confessions. I'm Alex, and I'm out. Peace.